Oh, hello, testing. Let's get my camera on. Here we go. No more starting soon. No more starting soon. We've got there we go. We're live. Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. This was a last minute decision to go live, just because I'm so excited about this game and getting as much content up about it as possible, showing off the development from the beginning. So I'm super excited. This is the first project for Walternet Games. The company was founded and started around February. It became a legit studio, really honestly, about 3 days ago, when we brought on several interns that we are absolutely excited about. This is an interesting indie dev experiment. We're excited for our first game. It's going to be a brick breaker platformer. So expect a lot of content like this, where I will be hyping it up, play testing, giving feedback, kind of doing a translucent depth into indie game development. So if you're interested in indie game development, we're going to be showing everything. We're going to be going through the whole process. You can ask us questions. We're going to show the early versions like we are today and talk about that. Really, I'm talking too much. The whole purpose of this stream today was just to hop in, check out our play day 3 build. So the prototype I'm about to play is a side-scroller brick breaker game that my co-founder and I had prototyped, a very simple little prototype and mock-up, and we're giving that to the team to finish and polish over the course of 8 weeks, which is not a lot of time. So changes are going to be coming in rapidly, so I'll be doing a lot of these streams, popping in, showing what we're doing. You can go over to Walternet Games on YouTube to follow in more depth. We'll have sprint reviews, other updates on this game. I think we really have something special with this game, and so I'm really optimistic about its success. We are going to publish it on Steam for free early access in about 6 weeks. That's the goal. So end of October release date. So not a lot of time. But to be honest, I've done a lot of projects like this with students at universities for the last 10 years. And I know what a talented team can put together in a short amount of time. Game development does not have to take a long time. It doesn't have to be expensive. And as long as you're having fun and you're passionate about what you're working on, it can be an amazing experience. So that's what we're going to set out to prove with Walternet Games. We're going to show what the underdogs can do. I'm a firm believer that the world is turning into more favorably towards indie game development because the tools are so accessible. They're free. And it's an amazing time to be an indie developer, if we're being honest. So without further ado, let's showcase the day 3 build that we're working on. If you want to ask me any questions in chat, feel free to do so. If you like this type of content, please subscribe and follow us on Walternet Games. I have a lot more subscribers here, so I'm hoping to get the word out about this indie game we're developing. And if you'd like to later on be a playtester, we plan on having some unlisted builds on itch.io. If you want to give us feedback, check it out. Like I say, this is an early build, so the whole goal here is to take the original prototype that Derek and I made and start making it better. So right now the build is in Unreal Engine, and so it's a day 3, still the Unreal Engine project folder. So next step is to give the team executable files. So we just have the Windows executable, so anybody can play and play test it and give feedback, make it easier for the team to play. Currently, actually, let's just start playing. Let's stop talking. Let's start playing. Here we go. We're gonna hit play. Let's check it out. Make sure it works well on the screen. I did have a crash earlier, so. All right, here we go. So here we go. So right off the bat, one of the things we wanted to do was speed up the player character so he bounced a little better. As you can see, the ball physics are working. It's not without its bugs. This is a new build. Still has the programmer art from Derek and I. What I'm excited to get in is the juice on this. The player controls now are much more swift. Before they was a little bit more floaty, so I feel like I'm going back and forth on the screen a lot quicker, which is awesome. I'm kind of thinking just playing this right off the bat with an early level. The bricks are too narrow, so we want to widen those up. This is obviously placeholder art. The idea for this game, if you haven't heard about it before from me, is that it is a platformer slash ball breaker. Brick breaker, not ball breaker. Where the ball, you score points if they hit the bricks on top, and then it increases the danger if it hits the floor below you. So as you can see, it's hitting some of the dirt blocks, and the lava is opening up below me. Got a little footbridge I'm kind of walking on right now, and it is starting to disappear as the ball breaks it. So still super early access. Obviously not a lot of juice, a lot of placeholder effects and all that, but the controls are feeling a lot better. I'm trying to decide here. The jump distance feels pretty good. I would actually like to see a little bit more height, I think, on the character. Maybe 25% more height. You can see I fell in the lava and moved forward a little bit there. Oh, and it widened me. So fun little bugs we're finding already. I'm gonna exit out of it. Play again. All right, here we go. Here we go again. Right now, it's just keyboard support. I would really like to see, if our engineers are able to get to it, controller support for the next one. I'd love to play this on a separate system, so I can do more of a streamer format, play it on my laptop, so that I can use the controller and reach more audiences. Right now, I am just streaming on YouTube, but for the next one, I want to be streaming on TikTok, Facebook, Twitch, everything, all at once. And the reason for that is we're trying to market this game as well in 6 weeks, so not a lot of time. So after I get done playtesting this and checking out the latest build, I just popped out the front. This is awesome. I'm going to look at some of the art. So some of our artists have done some style sheets for the look of the game. As you can see, this is programmer art, so we need to figure out what the game looks like, and we need to do that quickly. So what our artists have done is we have 4 artists on the team, and they've each taken they took one day to just grab some images and do some sketches and kind of create some style sheets. And the idea is that the team will vote on which style sheet they like best, and then of course the owners of the company, the founders, will have a final say on the art that goes through. But this is your chance to give some feedback too. So I'm going to show those to you all too, and tell me which option you like best. Leave it in the comments. Do you like option 1, 2, 3, or 4? I'll show those in just a second. But let's see, just to give feedback on this. Like I say, this is just the initial tweaks. It feels like the ball is moving. We had issues before with the ball just kind of going up and down and left and right. As you can see, we have, because each individual block on the background or the side walls and even the bricks themselves, it's kind of sending the ball in weird little trajectories, which isn't a big deal. I actually kind of like that. It creates some randomness. This is fun. I think once we get like the scoring popping up in the UI and all that fun stuff, it's really going to change the dynamic because we get some juice in there, a trail on the ball, get the character movement in there. But this begs the question. This is early on. Would love to hear from everyone in the comments what you would like to see, any ideas you have. We've talked about a lot of, look, this is awesome. It's bouncing back and forth up there. We've talked about a lot of options for the game, having a glider aspect, a parachute, and all that stuff. I'm going to show you some of the early look development too. So one of the ideas I had for the character, but the team is redesigning that as well, right? It's kind of fun coming in with all these initial designs that I had and having the team say, can we redesign that? Which is like, okay. Which is fine, right? This game is meant to be a passion project, which means everyone has a say in how it's made, which is going to be amazing. But once again, ideas have to be made quick because we're not going to waste a lot of time on this. We're going to move fast and furious and just make the best game possible we can, focusing in on the fun over the next 6 weeks. Okay, so we died. I died. There's my game over. We do have a full game screen with the start. You die and then options. A lot of additions to put in this game. So without further ado, let's look at the art really quick. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this going forward. Let's see. So we got our paddle hero build here. Let's grab our style. Actually, let's grab our character ideation to start with. So I had drawn this little robot character. And Zach, one of our founders, hopped in and did a quick 3D model of it. This isn't final, but just to show you the kind of idea of what this paddle character might look like. Jack says, I have some ideas for the ball getting stacked. We have one of the developers here. This is awesome. Yeah, no worries, man. Like this, we'll get it updated. Also, I did upload a package build now. You're awesome. Jax, no pressure, my friend. We're going to do a lot of these live streams, a lot of these feedback sessions. I am just super excited and thrilled to have all the new teammates and members on the team. So this is kind of that public forum for me to hype up the game, get the hype train going. But here's one of the early concepts. I don't have the sketch in here, but this little robot character. So give me your thoughts on this about the character design. I think it's interesting that the very humanistic legs with the knee joints and everything else. We could go for more of like a rubber hose type design with like thicker appendages for the robot. Doesn't have to be as humanistic as it is. But what I liked is the traditional paddle, so it's recognizable for traditional ball breaker games. But we put these big emotive eyes on it. So the idea that it can blink, it can kind of feel pain. We can give some emotion to this character. That you wouldn't be able to with like a more human character with smaller eyes and smaller features. And so that was kind of my idea behind this character, is that we'd be able to give it some juice and some emotion, even from a distance where the player is smaller on the screen. And then here's a little idle animation that Zach did for it. We can get it to play, which I think is fantastic. So beginning stages, we'll see how this changes going forward, but this is the early first character for our game. Let me ask you in the comments, what is a good name for this guy? Anyone have any ideas? Snake Mance, thanks for popping in. You are first. The first of many Walternet game developer streams. Jax asked, what do you think the game needs so far in terms of movement? How's the newer jump feeling? The newer jump feels really good. I was just mentioning, Jax, that I thought maybe a little bit 25% height on it, just a little bit higher. But the back and forth feels super good. Next steps, next time I play it, I'm actually going to play it on a separate PC so I can show it a little bit better on my live stream. And that's a me problem. But I really want to be playing it with a controller if possible. If that's too much to do in a week, I totally understand. But we want to put that on the list to have that controller support. Because most players, we're going to recommend that people play it with a controller. We want to leave the keyboard and keyboard options in there too. But where we're kind of pivoting this for long term, hoping to get it on the Steam Deck as well as the Nintendo Switch, we do want to have controller support and kind of have that in at the beginning so we can get the feel. But right now, the controls are feeling so much better. I think now as a team, we can decide on the ball speed, how that's feeling, and honestly, probably nail down the controls in probably about a week's time, so we can get into the other funner stuff. It's gonna probably, since you're using the prototype instead of rebuilding it all from scratch, I think we can move a lot faster than we initially thought. So that being said, Jax, it's Mazer Jax. It's feeling awesome. It's feeling really good. I'm really excited about where it's at and the trajectory we're going. And just so everyone's aware, it's not just building the game that we have to worry about. We have producers on the case, and we'll be talking about that and showcasing that over on WalterNet Games on YouTube. One of our producers is really interested in documenting our sprint reviews and all our content, so that kind of like a game development journal, you can see what we're doing. So our engineers are not only working on the game, but they've also got to work on source control, how the team shares files between each other. Our producers not only have to work on tasks and communication, but they also have to work on marketing and how we're going to actually get the game out. Later today, I've got to go to the bank to get a business bank account because I can't get a Steam account, a Steam workshop account without that. So lots of fun indie development problems that we're solving right now as we build this 8-week project. Oh, crap. Jack says we decided to do a new build from the ground up for next week and keep this one as a test bed, essentially. That is freaking awesome, Jax. So I love that. So we're going to have a new build. So I'm excited to see everything you're seeing right now is going to change then. Is that right? Lots of stuff happening. I like to support everyone in their decisions. This is great. We have given the team the kind of the leeway that we want to do whatever gets the best product we can get the fastest in that 6 weeks. So if it makes sense to rebuild it, then that is awesome. Just for anyone interested, the reason for keeping this current build is because it would be faster. However, we're using essentially some of the templates from Unreal Engine, which gives less control to the developer on the player controls. So the perk from building it ground up, which takes more time, is our engineers will have more control of the fine tuning and adjustments, and they'll be more intimately knowledgeable with how it's put together in code, so we can have a stronger, polished product at the end. And our engineers will get a more solid, I think, experience of engineering that out. Have a better story to tell when they eventually go on to get hired in another job, and really a full development experience. So that sounds awesome, Jax. I'm excited about that. So this is our character. Doesn't have a name yet. Would love to hear it. Or should we just ditch him and do a new one? It's all up in the air right now. Let's show off now. Here are some of the style sheets. So I may put this in as a short just to get feedback from the public. But let's look at the style sheets. I want to hear from you in the comments, either on the live stream or after the fact. But tell me which one you think is more successful, and I will keep my mouth shut a little bit. Here's style sheet number 1. So it's a beach breaker, so they're actually giving it a theme. So after getting swept away by a freak storm, you find yourself stuck in a lava cave. Get through all the levels so you can find your way out. So some of the effects, pufferfish style, like a Gen Shear slime style, a brick style similar to Unrailed. Hopefully everyone can see that okay. But this is beautiful. I really love the cave theme in the back. This is kind of what I was looking for in the game itself. More readable colors. So they have the blue blocks that you have to break, and with the cool colors, warmer colors down below with the lava and the bricks you don't want to break, which is the ground. And then we want more gray, gray muted colors in the background, so you can separate the foreground from the background, the playable space versus the non-playable space. So love this. The character is a surfer wearing a wetsuit. I dig that. Okay, let's see option number 2. Here we go. WalterNet Brick Breaker style sheet overview, genre theme, target audience, brick breaker, destructive platforming fun. Target audience: children, families, nostalgic adults, and platforming friends. We're trying to have this kind of a general accessible game that's open for everybody, and everybody can enjoy it. Easy to figure out, but difficult to master. That's kind of what we're going for. So you've got some Brick Breaker examples here. Character design: Chibi Robo, Arkanoid, and Subway Surfer. Kind of mixing those together. Classic breaker paddle, robotic geometric shapes, colorful, cute, high contrast, gradient focal point. So these are some great images. And here was here you can see that initial sketch I made, and then a 3D version of it. So just take the initial sketch of something that's recognizable with the paddle, but then giving kind of that little robotic feel. Environment: Chibi Robo and Super Mario. Giant ordinary objects, playful design, hand-painted, bright and bold colors, soft textures and shapes, distinct themes, cozy lighting, dynamic changing environment, modular, and simple shapes and blocky. So here is some screenshots from, I don't know what this robot game is, but it looks cool, and some Mario. I think that's 3D World, which I do love the modular style of 3D. Mazer Jack says also tangent, but YouTube thinks you're playing old school Brick Breaker from 1999. That's hilarious. Jack says that's one professional looking doc. This is option number 2 if you want to leave your suggestions in the comments. Textures: hand painted and subtle material overlays, variety, and avoid flat colors. So we don't want it to be too busy, but we want it to have some overlays. Like these options. And then here's an example that they put together in action. I actually think it looks pretty slick. I like that you have a flat color in the background, and then the textured in the foreground. You also are separating the bricks with the flat colors. I think that contrasts really well. So very cool. User interface: modern Nintendo UI, retro inspired with modern touches, bright and playful, bold, readable typography, rounded text boxes, playful sound effects, interactive prompts, feedback through color motion, clear indicators. Effects: exaggerated, playful, stylized, simple, abstract, immediate, and clear feedback. Go. So that is option number 2. And I don't think it was shown very well in my short feed, but that's okay. Steakman says call him Bob. I kind of like that. The founder of the games program at the University of Utah was his name was Bob Kessler, amazing man who passed away a few years ago. He is sorely missed. I actually think that would be pretty awesome to name our main character Bob after him. Okay, so option number 3 for your pleasure. This says, when I think about Brick Breaker, 3 things come to mind: simplicity, childlike wonder, and nostalgic. To me, Brick Breakers are a great entry into the realm of video games, whether it's a flash game from a browser, or an arcade game, or a free game on the parent's phone. Brick Breakers are easy, simple games that even a toddler can understand. I like how it captures children's chaotic minds and makes them obsessed with beating levels. Simplicity: this has to do with style and the assets of the game. Nothing that's too over the top or detailed, nothing that's complex or difficult to get confused. This can be seen as this torch asset I made instead of the fiery detailed 3D version. So here's using just geometric shapes for the flames. I actually like that a lot. Childlike wonder: here's the color palette that they kind of came up with. And then some nostalgic kind of character designs. I love this from Smash Bros. And Pokemon. I do like the more chibi type of characters because they're more emotive on a small screen. Make a lot more sense. Overall, brighter style of gameplay, more cartoony. I agree 100% with all of this. I'm supposed to not give my opinions. You're all supposed to tell me in the chat which style sheets you think are the most successful and we should go forward with. So that's style sheet number 3. And style sheet number 4, here we go. Paddle Hero, visual exploration. Narrative and worldview: our little paddle hero has the ability to let comets bounce back to destroy falling debris that will cause harm to the city. I kind of love that storyline. Art assets: simplistic, minimalistic background art, stylized platforms, breakable and unbreakable, stylized model texture, hand painted, focused on base color channel, stylized debris, breakable blocks. I'm kind of messing up my words now. Art style: stylized and low poly with a twist of diesel punk. a deliberate combination of streamlined buildings and greenery as platforms. So here's some kind of real world kind of design, and then some assets that these were drawn by the artist, not just grabbed off the internet. So these are jumping platforms. I like the blocky shapes, simple shapes, but also creates more variety and possibilities in the level design. I absolutely adore this. This is really cool. And I can see this translating really well into 3D. All these objects that would be breakable, give some style. Debris blocks. The debris piles are basically stylized blocks that have patterns on it to imply that they are some sort of junk that needs to be destroyed. Color contrast between the debris and city undecided, need to be further explored. Enhanced speed and jump height. So here's some bouncy pads and maybe some rotating conveyor belts. I love this simple art style that can lend itself really well in 3D. Something's really readable and has some unique design. I actually love this. And then UI reference, simple UI display from cartoony and inviting. This is from Overcooked. This would be awesome. So that is style sheet number 4. Let me know if you think I should review them one more time. Jack says, I love this doc. Yeah, it's beautiful. All right, let's go through them one more time. Tell me in the comments which one you like. We're just going to rush through them now. So here's style sheet number 1 for potential art for our Brick Breaker game. This is the Beach Breaker style guide. Number 2, right here, we'll whoosh through it. All this good stuff. And option number 3, I just had a kid walk into my office, so kind of got distracted. Okay, with the particle effects, color palette. And style number 4, the last one. All right, there we go. Mazer Jack says I might be a bit biased because that's also my favorite aesthetic. Yeah, that I love the aesthetic. I'm gonna leave my opinions a little bit on the floor here, on the cutting room floor, because ultimately I'll probably have the final say. But I'm interested to hear what everyone's opinions are to sway on which direction. I have a feeling on which direction I want to go, but I want to hear from everybody on how they feel. And now I have a kid in here slapping my arm, interrupting me. Unbelievable. And so I think we're going to end this live stream here. Everybody, thanks for watching. We're excited for this game, this Brick Breaker game. This is the day 3 playtest. Next week, we're going to have a brand new build, controller support, building it up from the ground up. We have 2 amazingly talented engineers. Introductions for them will be forthcoming on Walternet Games gaming channel, where we're going to show all sorts of game development process. If you're interested in that kind of thing, hop in, be a part of the fun. Looking forward to having an early access Steam so you can start wish listing and we can see how many downloads we can get on day 1. Everyone have a fantastic day, and we'll see you on the next stream.